What's cooking?
Uh,
You know what? To be fair, it works
what's
for our
cooking?
Nerdspice thing. I kind of like it.
What's
What's cooking?
what's
I
cooking?
kind of
Good
like.
lookings? Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Can you tell? Like, I just don't know what energy. Oh, Tog is in a domestic.
Yeah, God. uh,
Did you
yeah.
hear him?
Nah, nah,
No,
nah.
no, I
We
didn't.
couldn't
Him?
hear anything.
No,
Oh, okay, because my
Was he
brother.
telling all your
I
deepest, darkest
I know
secrets?
who it would have
I,
been.
no, he normally listens all the time. I say go away.
Do we
He's like,
wanna do we wanna just
oh, thanks,
restart
bro.
this?
No, keep
No,
it in.
hey, let's just
Alright.
keep
Keep
the
it
ball
in.
rolling.
Alright,
He
cool.
normally leaves, but he didn't leave. So I was borderline ready to go up and deck him.
Knock him out. Now you will not disturb.
Oh boy. Oh.
Uh,
So how we been,
Fucking
boys?
hell. Yeah, I've been good, man. Working non-stop. I had my first day off today, so that's nice.
Yeah, good,
Good
good.
timing, good timing.
Well, yeah.
Happened to be on the day of the podcast, so I could actually, sit down and write shit up
Yeah, thank
for the
God for that.
episode. What about you, Togs?
Work, uni, work, uni, work, uni.
Solid.
Nice.
I've had a boring week.
Yeah, dude,
Alright.
mine's just been work. What
Pretty
about you,
standard.
mate? What about you, Mitch?
No, man. I'm just chilling. I'm just walking the dog, doing what I do, playing some games, streaming, doing what I do. It's fun.
Nice. Yeah, I was meant to stream. As I announced last week, I was meant to stream. That what happened for one episode. I did one stream. We'll get into why I only did one stream though later on. But anyway, Mitchell, are there any games you want to talk about?
Not really. I've been playing. Oh, I looked into a bit of more Phasmophobia stuff and like some future updates, and there's some really cool stuff that's coming out. For people that know, they'll know the Asylum map is like the biggest map. They're bringing out a prison map, which is supposedly about the same size as Asylum, which is going to be really cool. There's going to be a mansion map, which is going to be massive. And they're bringing out like an apartment building one, which they don't really know. It could be a smaller building, or people are saying like maybe it's an apartment complex. So like it's going to be massive. You go through all these different
I'm really
houses.
hoping the mansion like has some subtle nods to the original Resident Evil. Like, I'm just fingers crossed, just like some small nods. Because Resident Evil is synonymous with a mansion, the original, with it being in a mansion full of twists.
Resident
turns,
Evil
like,
doesn't have
puzzles.
all the tabs on mansions.
No, but it started a very big trend with horror.
I don't think it will.
No, I think it should. I think it'd be fun.
No, I don't think
like,
they correlate.
Cool, like, no, the mansion is like a big key part in the original Resident Evils.
And here's
It
the
is.
first disagreement.
Anyway.
I just don't see why Phasmophobia would be like, you know what, we're making a mansion map. Here's everything Resident Evil.
No, I'm just saying small nods. I didn't say make it into the Resident Evil mansion. Just some little nods. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Especially seeing as Resident Evil is such a proponent in horror in video games.
Fuck your AAA games. Alright, let's keep going.
What?
Andrew, what are you?
There's
holding in
like
your
2
hand?
developers on this game. They're not
This
gonna
tripod.
do that.
Just holding it.
He needs a
Just fucking whizzing
shaker.
it around.
Yeah.
But no, how long have you been playing for Phasmophobia now? Like
Oh, I don't know. A month?
a month ago.
I don't know.
Okay. What about you, Togs? Any games at all?
Game of life, my dude.
I haven't played this one, but speaking of horror games and Phasmophobia.
Don't you dare mention Little Hope.
What?
I'm so close. If you're gonna mention Little Hope, no spoilers, please. I'm about to buy it.
No.
Okay, then what were you gonna say?
Jesus Christ.
I was like, please.
He's
please.
so on edge.
I know, bro. You're so on edge.
Yeah, that's me.
Don't talk about the games on a gaming podcast! Don't do it! Don't do it!
Anyway, no, what was the game?
Hold on, I have to look it up. It's called Silence something.
In silence.
Yes, that's
There we
it.
go.
In silence, yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
New one. It's kind of still in development, isn't it?
So it's early access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's early access.
I don't know if it's early access,
very-
but it needs
No.
work.
It's gotten similar. It's what? It's almost like
Dead by
essentially
Daylight.
phasmophobia. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like phasmophobia.
No. Esque. The thing is so it's like Dead by Daylight. So someone plays the killer.
So you got like the stalker or killer.
Yeah, you got your
or-
survivors who are trying to escape,
Yeah.
or they can even kill the monster if they
Yeah.
unlock a armory with codes. But the thing is, the
Right.
monster is blind. So if you're playing the monster, it's blind, so it goes off sound. So you use in-game sound and chat to talk to others, but if you use too much noise or set off traps, like there's booby traps like that make sound in houses and stuff, that'll trigger the monster's thing, and he'll come to that area because that's what he hears.
I don't think the monster's played though by a player.
Yeah, no, they are.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really cool. I think that's good because I feel like a lot of the problems with games like Dead by Daylight, etc., is sometimes the people who play the survivors, etc., feel like they are woefully underpowered.
Yeah.
And so it's good to have but it's good to have some form of disadvantage on the survivor, the monsters.
Well, for what I've seen is that the survivors are really overpowered.
Oh, wait, too
because
okay.
they get it's almost like a flashbang thing, and they have like a set amount of charges, like 3 or 4, I think they get. Right. So every time the monster grabs them, they just press the B button or whatever it is, and they flash and they run away.
Isn't it like a flare?
I think it's like is it a flare
either
or a
way,
flashbang?
Either way, it's an ability that you blind them.
Because you got like a battery. Yeah. So each character, each person has got like
blind monster.
Yeah. You use a light to blind the monster that's not privy to light, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, they get like 3 or 4 of that each character, so it's like so hard for the monster. And then by the time they can start killing, they've either got weapons to kill the monster, they've already put the car together or something. So,
yeah. So it's a bit too slanted in the...
I think there's a bit of balancing they need to work it out. Maybe a bit of replayability they need to work in. I haven't played the game either, but I've seen some videos on it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that one easy fix is maybe remove how many stuns you get. You know, how many of those flashes or whatever. Maybe put it down a little bit more. Have each character have one.
It's kind of cool though, because each person that dies comes back as a mouse, and they can squeak and make noise to draw the monster away from the other people. So it's kind of cool.
Super.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other games at all, guys? Or
no, man, you might as well go in with your spiel.
My Watch Dogs Legion spiel.
Oh, no.
Yep. Buckle up, everyone.
Yeah. So I played it. There is one episode. There's one stream. I really enjoyed the stream actually. But this game is so mixed because I'm having a blast still, but there's so many caveats to this game.
The hell is a caveat?
Caviar.
Yeah. So like
yes, caviar.
There's a caviar in this game.
Fucking
Dude,
hell.
that's cool.
No, there's a lot of caveats to the game.
What the fuck's a caveat? Have you got a fucking dictionary next to you? Are you just looking up words?
No, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you. I know what you're talking about.
I was gonna say, Tolga, you know. I swear I heard Tolga say this. Mitchell, you're fucking with me, right?
What's a caveat?
You're fucking with me.
No,
right?
I'm not. I don't go to school and learn caveat.
Fucks.
What's a caveat?
Okay, there are some setbacks, there are problems, issues with the game as well.
Ah, okay.
Okay, let's just fucking say that.
Thank you
Jesus
for
Christ.
speaking English.
Every time it says caveat, just think of caviar, Mitch. You've got it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Gotcha.
Anyway, no, so the game is really fun. It's similar gameplay to Watch Dogs 2. Incorporation of stealth, shooting, hacking, all that jazz. But the big sell point for me when this game was announced was the whole permadeath gameplay, and the fact that you're building kind of similar to the Nemesis system in Shadow of War or Shadow of Mordor, you're building an army by making essentially like recruiting all these different NPCs into your hacker legion.
Yes.
And their big sales pitch was you can recruit absolutely anyone.
Given
which is
the right
true.
circumstances.
No, you can recruit absolutely anyone in the game.
Yeah.
Any NPC in the game, you can save them to recruits and do missions to try and get them to life.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got to work for the circumstances.
Yes, but you can still recruit anybody.
Yeah, no, of
you
course.
see a person on the street, you go, okay, I'm going to do a mission.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't saying you were. I'm just explaining. Sorry. No, so that is that's a really interesting concept, but it is like a massive problem too.
Yeah.
The scale is too big.
Really?
It's too fucking big because the problem lies in you find the right character, you're not going to touch anyone else. I've already fallen into that.
That's true.
I literally have not used. I've used 2 characters pretty much. One of them died, so then I swapped over and used a second character. But I'm using 2 characters most of the time.
Yeah.
Right. I use a character for stealth, which is pretty much used in every mission. And then there's right now I'm doing a side mission where you're going to fighting dens and beating the shit out of people. So I'm using a brawler character as well. And then once I'm done with the fighting den, I'm going to go back to the stealth character. Because
but I mean, if those characters die, I mean, it's good that the range is big because then you can go and search for anyone.
Yes, of course.
You know?
But the thing is, a lot of the people you find on the streets, etc., are just your basic people. They'll have really odd perks or sometimes disadvantages to using them. There's characters that literally just have spontaneous death. So if you recruit them at some point while you're playing, at some random point, you don't know when, they'll just fucking die.
Yeah, because the world just keeps going, doesn't it?
Yeah. And it's like I said, the scale's just a little too big in the sense of as well. They've had to go the No Man's Sky route and randomize absolutely everything. So, No Man's Sky went the whole route of every monster's different. So they had a shit ton of different assets that they then randomize and combine so that you could see different monsters in each planet. And, you'd get some weird fucking Play-Doh monstrosities of a T-Rex giraffe or some shit, and it just looks stupid, and you go, what the fuck is that?
That is science at its finest.
Biology.
Biology, kids.
But no, why did Togger, you look like you're about to kill yourself.
He just had an apple.
He just looked
he's
so depressed.
Look,
anyway.
Man, I'm tired and I'm texting.
We're on a podcast!
He's texting the developers of games. That's what he's doing. It's fine.
Fix your shit.
Fix your shit.
I just abused Ubisoft.
Good.
Dear Microsoft, change the names of your consoles so it makes fucking sense. Thank you. Sincerely, the community.
Please be more fucking creative than Xbox, and then just adding a series of letters after the box.
And then having X always after
Xbox.
the X. There has to be an X in it.
What's a letter that corresponds with our series? X. Xbox. X. Yeah. All right. Let's chuck that in there. Yeah.
I feel I almost want them to become self-aware with the next generation and just call it the Xbox.
The Xbox Triple X Series.
No, just
X.
the Xbox. That's it.
It's just like
that is the new series.
Xbox Squared.
Xbox X.
Xbox Squared.
Xbox Cubed, and it's just a cube.
Xbox Cubed.
Oh man.
Anyway, back to Watch Dogs Legion after this tirade. Anyway, so the scale's a little too big where there's this shit ton of randomization. For instance, on a character in the stream that I got, I had to recruit a construction worker. I walk up to her, she's this tan, olive complexion, young girl, and what comes out of her mouth is, hello, darling, how are you? I was like, they're thrown aback. I was like, what the fuck? She looks 30 and she sounds like a 6-year-old white woman. It's like shit like that.
What
it's
the
really
hell?
odd. I had in my off-screen playthrough, I recruited this random like Aryan motherfucker, white face, blonde hair, blue eyes. He sounded Jamaican.
I mean, that's not a stretch.
It's just
like,
it's a little off, but it's just off-putting. It's like, but it's like you cannot tell me this man. Oh, and it's like what? What? He's like this skinny fucking lanky man. It's like
oh shit! And I saw something with like the permadeath stuff. If you kill all your characters, the game just ends. It's game over.
Yeah.
It rolls the title screen. It's so funny.
But to be fair, the game's not hard. The game is not hard.
No, I'm not saying
You do
that.
stealth. Like you got a good stealth character.
I just love the idea of I'm going to see what happens when I kill all the
Honest,
characters.
I don't think it looks that freaking great. Like, sure, like great graphics, whatever, but like the gameplay looks very like.
Oh, it doesn't interest me
well,
at all.
I'm going to get into that part.
Don't worry, Togger. I'm
but
with
like
you,
the
man.
interesting part was the recruitment situation. You know, I enjoyed that concept, that idea of having this permadeath thing. But again, another flaw with it is there is no character to kind of attach to. Your starting character is you choose from a group of randomized characters. So on my first playthrough, I got a character when I did the stream. I got a character that I actually liked as a starting character. When I went off stream, I was like, I'll make a new save, all that. And my randomized set was fucking trash. None of them were good. And so like I had to begin the whole thing with a random, like really shit character. Another thing I want to point out, there are microtransactions in this single player game.
No,
that is stupid. It is. And they've gone the Shadow of War route, which is you can buy operators and shit like that. You can buy recruits. And
that's literally
because of the version that I have, due to using the Ubisoft Plus thing, I get the gold version. So I got all these operators immediately. So I started off with all these like S-tier fucking operators. So when one of my characters died, I was stuck with like 5 really good operators. And I was like, well, fuck, I'm not going to change to these shitty these shitty recruits that I'm going to get.
Yeah.
It's just, it ruins the game. The game
of course it does. Of course it does.
The gameplay's basic as fuck. It's X to stealth kill. Anyone can stealth kill. The AI are fucking dense. I shot a dude in front of another guy. The body fell and the guy just looked at it, turned around and walked away. Like
he's like, nope, I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Yeah, and the AI is really bad. The combat's boring as fuck. Like the shooting sucks. It's really basic.
When you hit them with the arrow. Just like, what was that?
I guess it was my imagination. Anyway.
Arrow.
I don't know. There's always been something about Watch Dogs that, to me, seem really simplistic and boring.
Yeah,
the
biggest... Sorry, what were you going to say, Mitchell? No, let Mitchell...
No, I was just going to say, like, all the series, I know they're popular and people really enjoy them, and all power to you. But to me, it's like... Why? It doesn't seem like it has a lot of playability once you've done the basics.
Yeah, it's a massive shame because the concept is really great. I've always loved the concept. I enjoyed Watch Dogs 2. I think Watch Dogs 2 was actually a good game. But I feel like Legion, even on top of Watch Dogs 2, has actually taken another step back in gameplay. Even though they haven't really... In reality,
They've upped the scale of everything, but they haven't improved the quality of gameplay.
Yeah, the gameplay stays the same. It's like Watch Dogs 2 was like, okay, this is where... Okay, you found a good blueprint. Now continue and upgrade.
Because you have one character in Watch Dogs 2?
Yeah, you only play as the one character.
Yeah, so they've increased the scale, but the gameplay hasn't really suited the new style of game.
No, because like everyone still feels the same.
Yeah.
Realistically, you're all playing the same way. The only people who don't feel the same are the old people. Because they're genuinely 10 times slower and you can't really get into fist fights as them. So that's the only time the game's actually different.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's like my massive problem with it, and it's a shame because this out of all the games that Ubisoft had announced, this was the one I was more interested in.
Well, this is the thing that's tying people over until 2077, and Valhalla's out too, isn't it?
Yeah, Valhalla's coming out.
Coming out.
But like, even more than Valhalla, though, I was more interested in this because, like I said, Watch Dogs 2 started a great blueprint. All they had to do was progress the core gameplay and add something different. They announced the something different, so I was excited to see what that core gameplay progression was, and it's not there.
Yeah, strange.
It's just a massive fucking letdown. The driving as well is fucking god awful. Like, I got bored the other day, and so I've been playing GTA 5 just out of boredom. And like the driving in GTA 5 is fucking great. It's really smooth. It's really responsive.
It's a big part of it.
Going from GTA to Watch Dogs, I felt like I was driving fucking tanks everywhere.
Yeah, it always looked really stiff and janky.
Yeah, like I urge anyone to Google like just someone and watch someone driving a motorbike in Watch Dogs Legion, and it's like they're on a two-wheeled fucking tank. It's so dumb. Like they don't lean to turn or anything. It's just going. They're just upright when they turn. It just looks so dumb. You know, and it feels really heavy, and it's a real shame because I think this game could have been so good.
Well, that's the story of a lot of games these days, isn't it? It could have been great.
Yeah, it is a real shame.
And it started with Anthem. And a lot of games followed.
There were games well before that. Before that.
No, don't be silly. It all started with Anthem.
It was the spiral.
That was the trigger.
Okay. So I think we should go into news then, yeah?
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's make us happy.
Is it good or bad?
It's the gaming industry. Why would you think it's good?
Okay, so let's go back in time for a little bit to 2018.
Holy shit, dude. Welcome.
Time before coronavirus, a time...
Still in school?
Still
in uni.
A time that might have been a little lighter for some. Also back in 2018, the Netherlands had determined that loot boxes were gambling.
That's right.
Remember what I did in 2018.
That was a really delayed response.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Dude. Anyway, let's continue. So, loot boxes were like certain loot boxes.
Alright.
Okay. Anyway, certain loot boxes in games were determined to be gambling.
Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Good. Great.
They warned the publishers to modify the addiction-sensitive elements. So, you know, the flashing lights, the sounds, the build-up, the actual opening of the loot box, essentially.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they gave them until mid-June of that year. So this happened in, like, April, I think. A few of the games they mentioned were, you know, at the time, they were like Dota 2, PUBG, Rocket League, and... of course, our favourite,
Fortnite. Yeah,
FIFA.
That's what I said.
Anyway, so FIFA was one of the big ones. And now, this wouldn't be a story. Fucking hell, Togger, I'm so sick of it. Sick of you. Sick of you, mate.
Show your guns, mate. Let them proud.
I'm not even doing that. I'm having an ADD moment, alright?
I can tell. Anyway, look. So later on down the line, we had to have some, you know, contention, some companies fighting back.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, as we mentioned, FIFA was in there. So who else better than to be the antagonist than EA? EA went and said, no, we're not fucking changing it. Not a chance. And so they got slapped with a big €5 million fine.
Wow!
And EA went, no, fuck you, we're contesting it. So for the past year and a bit, they've been contesting this fine.
Oh shit, I didn't even know about this. Fuck.
Yeah. So we got an announcement of the outcome.
Yeah.
I'm going to go step by step through what happened in court, and I want to see how you guys feel. I think this is really funny. Anyway, EA decided that it shouldn't have to change its loot boxes, and instead argued that they were fine. They were good. So like I said, October last year, though, was when they got the fine. And EA contested it. And in court, they argued that FIFA loot boxes would not count as gambling under the Betting and Gaming Act because FIFA Ultimate Team Packs don't offer items of value because they cannot be directly converted into money. That FIFA is inherently a game of skill rather than a game of chance. And that there is no scientific evidence linking to the opening of Ultimate Team Packs to gambling addiction.
How dare they talk about science? EA are the biggest flat earthers I've ever seen.
Anyway, so what do you think so far? Like, what's your opinion so far?
That skill part, yeah, sure. Because, like, if you have, like, the good shit, you're obviously going to have a better chance. But, like, you could still beat someone who's got the best player, like, the best.
Oh, it's going to be significantly harder, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you still can.
Sure.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
Let me just tell you. Oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, the whole thing that it doesn't convert to monetary value. Last week we were literally talking about some guy getting mad for opening packs and then selling them to people to trade.
Oh, I'll get into that. So the next part was the court countered. They countered the argument of there being no scientific evidence. Oh, sorry, no, that's a bit further on. The court countered that, however, by stating that there are ways for people to profit from Ultimate Team cards, which can be valued at nearly 2,000 euros for some of the more rarer cards. They also countered that FIFA is a game of skill, not chance, by stating that people can simply ignore the actual game and just open Ultimate Team Packs to try and get that monetary value.
Yes.
So, they've turned the Ultimate Team Packs into their own sort of game in argument. So that was what the court stated. So the court's agreeing. The court's disagreeing with them. The court slapped them down. And then they went on to the scientific evidence. They said that there being no scientific evidence for specifically the Ultimate Team isn't necessary due to the fact that with the Betting and Gambling Act, it is based on the assumption that games of chance carry with them a risk of gambling addiction already. So they don't need evidence for each game of chance.
Just do what Pokemon does. PG, but it says gambling in some gambling theme.
But that's when they actually have, like, you know, lottos and shit.
Yeah, I know.
And that's even different because you're not earning in-game currency.
No.
You're only earning in-game currency. You don't have to put in your own money.
I know.
But no, so again, the court slapped them down and just went,
Yeah, thank you.
No scientific evidence is bullshit because our Gambling Act is there to essentially stop any forms of games of chance. And that it is then on essentially them to prove that it is not. They now hold the burden of proof. And on top of that, they said that they pointed out the increasing amount of scientific research that warn about the effects of loot boxes. On top of the reports that the Gambling Commission, which is known as the KSA in Netherlands, had received by individuals affected by these loot boxes.
Yeah.
So EA then hit back with a very hard-hitting point, and that is that the force to change Ultimate Team Packs is a violation of EA's rights to property and freedom of expression.
So that's them being like, I don't wanna.
So that was their big, heavy hit back, which, you know, good point, yeah. We're censoring you guys.
That's them just having a cry and being like, I don't want to do it.
Also, addressing the violation to EA's property, the judges noted that the KSA gave EA an opportunity to amend the FIFA games to fix the issue without any sanction or fine, but the publisher neglected to do so. And they also added that EA itself still owns the game and has control over how it decides to make it comply with the law. again, another slap the fuck back and no, sit.
Yeah. There's nothing they can do. That.
Yeah.
Like.
And then they all. Well, I'll just continue quickly. In argument against the censoring their creativity, the court ruled again that the Betting and Gambling Act's existence assumes that the interests of society to regulate games of chance outweigh the interest to preserve people's freedom to express themselves through games of chance.
That's not expressing yourself through games anyways.
Yeah,
That's not story.
exactly.
That's not
it's
character
not an
development.
No, that's what they're saying. They're saying...
Do you know how tired I am of this shit, man?
Oh,
Yeah.
mate. So tired.
Like, just fuck EA. They're
Just-
the
yeah,
biggest
yeah,
assholes on the
100%.
planet. Like,
Oh, mate.
There's a funny little part that's mentioned a little later that I want to get to.
Oh,
Anyway, EA came back
boy.
with one final swing. They needed to get a knockout punch,
Oh.
and they argued that disclosing the fine to the public would harm its business and hurt its reputation.
Your shitty business is hurting your business.
No, but this is going to hurt their reputation.
well,
They
nothing's
have
hurting.
such a great reputation, EA.
Nothing's
You know-
hurting their business. Their players are a bunch of fucking
Yeah.
idiots. With
But
three
anyway, the
brain
court
cells.
again clapped back. They weaved that shit and they slapped him down again, saying that the public interest in announcing these fines and warning people about these unlawful business practices far outweighed EA's interest in preserving its reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, please don't do this to us.
You're not important.
And they said,
Sit down.
We gave you a year, my guy. We gave you plenty of time.
Not
Fuck
even
you.
that. It's just like, please don't do this to us. And it was just, you're breaking the law. Fuck off.
Yeah. But
so anyway,
that's how it should be, you know?
Here's the best part. So EA's original fine of 500 euros is now 10 million. So 5 million euros down, gone up to 10 million euros. And for every week
Holy
that they
shit.
sell loot boxes in the Netherlands, they will be fined an extra 500,000 euros.
Whoa. Pocket change.
Yep.
Yikes. That's cool. That's great.
To the Netherlands.
Cheers,
To the
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Yep.
What are you drinking?
He's drinking some Kraken, dude.
Kraken moment, man. Rum.
Spiced rum.
Drink
Spice rum.
responsibly.
Drink responsibly, kids, but Kraken is nice. It's nice.
Drink responsibly.
All you 18 aboves, do yourself a favour.
Anyway, so
21 if
what are
you're-
our thoughts?
Oh,
guys?
21
What are
if you're
our
a,
thoughts?
yeah, a US.
Bro, there's no thoughts. Fuck
There's no
EA.
thoughts, yeah. Basic. EA, go fuck yourself.
Just-
Yeah,
they're such
I
a
agree.
trash company.
Such a
Stop
bad.
making sports games.
They're such
They're
toxic.
shit.
They're so toxic. Like they're
They're
like
so
a disease.
toxic.
Do
They're
you know
shit.
what the worst thing is?
They're a disease on the industry.
The
They are.
embarrassing part is essentially the Netherlands came out when, okay, we're making a law, we're stopping this shit, we're going to stop. And EA had the gall to be like, no, I'm going to fight this. I'm not fucking backing down. Like,
Of course
Yeah,
they
and that
are.
went well, didn't it?
That just blows me away.
That just went so
Um,
well for them. They never learned.
Yeah, I forgot to mention what the EA representative said. Anyway, players all over the world have enjoyed FIFA and the FIFA Ultimate Team mode for many years, and as such, we are disappointed by this decision and what it may mean for our Dutch community. We do not believe that our products and services violate gambling laws in any way. We are appealing this decision, and we seek to avoid a situation impacting the ability of Dutch players to fully experience and enjoy FIFA Ultimate Team.
It's even more
I mean,
dumb.
like-
It's so much more dumb that it's only for one
They're
region.
like,
and
I'm the
"Oh, it's gonna
victim.
take me."
Oh, I'm the victim. We just want to give the best product to our players.
My favorite part
Oh.
is, like, my other favorite part is they're trying to not damage their reputation. Like, they don't want to damage their reputation, but proceed to be scummy as fuck. Like, openly scummy as fuck. It just...
Yeah, but like the thing is, their fan base is all brainwashed. So like,
Oh, no.
It's
their
like Apple
fan
users.
base- yeah, their fan base views it
Oh,
as
it's like any corporate fan of a corporation. Like,
yeah.
it's
They're
just
just-
like any fan
Their
of a
fan base is
corporation.
like, oh, well, how are you doing this to us? Blah blah blah. But they're too dumb to
Yeah.
realize that it's freaking gambling. They go, oh no, you're
Exactly,
changing my game. Like,
Those
I
are the
know,
people
it's
that
stupid.
can have the facts in front of them and then
It's-
be like, nah.
do you know?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Andrew knows this, but Mitch, Do you know how many times my brother bought like the new FIFA? And I'd like argue with him. I'd be like, "Why are you doing this?" And literally, his arguments have sometimes been, "The grass actually moves."
Do you know what my favorite one? Do you remember when one of my favorite stories ever when I shit on EA and stuff? I brought it up to mates, and it was obviously it's to do with your brother.
The grass actually moves.
One was. Do you know what? The grass moves. That's funny, but this is my personal favorite. This is when we were over and we were playing, I think, Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
You and I, Tolga, and your brother came down and was like, "Oh, dude, like the new FIFA comes out next week," and we both just went like, "Dude, it's the same fucking game." Nah, some players changed over. They've got some new jerseys. That was literally his argument. He went, but they've got some new jerseys, bro.
Mate,
Like,
that's the title of the episode. The grass moves. The grass actually moves.
The grass actually moves.
Holy shit, man.
Like, my other annoyance with this is, well, like the good news is the court actually sided with the Gambling Association and the people, which is a really good thing.
And the people.
Well, no, the good thing with it is that yes, it's only in the Netherlands for now, but other countries can now look at this as a precedent. They can look at it, and people can point out that the Netherlands over here there is a precedent set that these loot boxes are considered gambling.
Yeah,
and so it can help keep the ball rolling in other countries. And I
just don't think other countries are going to do it because I feel like there's too many people that benefit from loot box profits.
I hope they do. I don't. Whether or not they do, obviously, highly unlikely. But I mean, like, you know, you've got the UK looking at it right now.
They might,
which is good.
I don't think the US ever will.
No, the US won't. But you know, that's the one thing I have to be kind of happy with is there is at least now a precedence that's been set.
It's good.
And that other countries can potentially use it. And that's the best part about it is it obviously only affects Netherlands right now. But the good news is they will actually be able to set a precedence that can carry on to other places. To be honest, that was the biggest of the news that I had this week. Just because, like, dude, this took me fucking half the day trying to figure out everything in the timeline.
No, they're next level bad, dude. Ubisoft's bad, really, but EA...
Well, like, they're completely different. Because, like, EA is such a weird corporation of... They're so openly scummy, but at the same time, don't know why they're hated.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's the brilliance of, like, they get angry when they get, like, you know, nominated as the worst company in the world. Like,
wait, what?
Yeah,
there's
an actual
company.
The worst. They've been given like this award for years and years, where they've been nominated as like one of the worst companies. I think it's either in the world or in the States. Either way, they keep getting this award, and they keep coming out and going, "We don't understand. Like, this isn't us. This is shit." Like, they get pissy about it, and then proceed to go and do something really scummy, and then go, "What? Why are we nominated again? Why did we win?" You know,
but we gave you this great FIFA game. It's brand new.
And like the thing is, it's a shame because, like, of course, like every company, they have some golden gems. Some, you know, like Jedi Fallen Order. That was a good game. You know, but the thing is, like,
it's not enough.
One or two. There's one or two. Like Titanfall. It's another good game. But, like, there's one or two that are good, and the rest is just...
It's just the way they conduct their business as well. It's not even about the games. Like, half of it.
Well, no, the thing is, the way they conduct their business then trickles down into the games, which is the problem.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
You know, like, you look at Anthem.
No.
You can see, like, you look at Anthem and you go, that is so fucking EA, you know? That is just so fucking EA of them.
What, to try and take on a big franchise and then ruin it? Yeah.
Well, no, just to try and jump on a trend,
and then
without actually figuring out what what good this trend, like what makes this trend good, or how to make a good game in this trend.
They don't know. They don't know.
No, they don't. So let's move on. We've got another video game delay this week. We got 2, actually.
Which ones?
Far Cry 6 was delayed.
Don't care.
And Rainbow Six Siege Quarantine or whatever was also delayed.
Okay, did they say why?
Did they name it Quarantine because we were in quarantine?
No, it's a zombie game.
Clever wordplay.
It's a zombie game. Anyway,
COVID.
Yeah.
COVID zombie
That's
game.
why.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was going to say that's why it was delayed. They announced. They said it was due to COVID. They essentially went, at least for Far Cry 6, they said COVID is the reason.
I totally didn't hear COVID. I just heard Mitch say Kevin like twice.
Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin.
Kevin was the reason!
Damn
Fuck you, Kevin!
Damn it, Kevin McAllister.
I wanted my Giancarlo Esposito game now!
Man.
So it was originally coming out Feb of 2021.
Yeah.
It's now been delayed to they haven't given an actual date. They've just said
a ballpark
between April and March of 2022.
That's a big
delay.
That's a huge delay.
Here's the thing. I guarantee you, when they announced it, they didn't have a proper game yet. They did the Ubisoft thing. They make these games, they churn them out so quickly, and then this delay, because of COVID, they're not prepared for COVID is.
Whatever. I'm not a fan of Far Cry, so...
I love Far Cry, but I'm glad it got the delay, because, I mean...
Maybe this will be a better Far Cry game than most.
Yeah, Ubisoft has suffered for years from the fact that
they churn out games. They just churn them out.
Pump everything out so quickly.
And well, the problem is, again, going back to the conversation we had last week with Alex Hutchinson, who complained about how Japanese games are all repetitive, and I mentioned the Ubisoft thing. Every Ubisoft game has the same fucking blueprint. And I mentioned, they have a game, The Crew is literally had towers to open up parts of the map, which is essentially synchronization points or radio towers in Far Cry. They had all this collectible busy work, all of that shit, and it's every fucking one of their games is the same in that base open world blueprint. And it's a massive problem when they churn out all these games and they're just I'm playing first person Assassin's Creed now. I'm playing driving Far Cry. Racing, Far Cry Racing, it's just, they're all the fucking same.
Yeah.
And it's a real fucking annoying.
It'll be interesting to see what this Far Cry is like, since they got that extra time and they don't have to rush, maybe?
The thing is, they delayed a fuck ton of their games already. They announced that they delayed them, I think it was last year, but a lot of their projects got delayed after their most recent Ghost Recon. I think it was called Breakpoint or some shit.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Again, another repetitive shooter with open world aspects like radio towers and all that shit. And really bad stealth mechanics, all that jazz. Basic Ubisoft game.
Yep.
It did not do well. It was poorly. Everyone shat on it because it wasn't a great game. And so they essentially went, okay, we're delaying everything now, and we're going to improve it and try and not dip into the same well. Which, look, that's a good thing to hear. And I think the best thing about these delays as well is, remember, the guy who was essentially the one who greenlit all the games that Ubisoft made, he's not there anymore. So we can have the chance to have new games now. They might actually stop doing the same fucking shit. And that's been my biggest problem with Ubisoft for ages, everything feels the same. Every game, no matter what, all they do is they change the fucking camera view, but everything else is the same, But yeah, anyway, what are your guys' thoughts?
I think that the delay is a good thing. Mainly, as we were talking about, they churn games out like it's nobody's business, and it causes bugs, repetitive gameplay. They don't have real time to be creative and make a game that they put their heart into anymore. You know?
I wouldn't even say it's bugs. Like I would just say like.
Oh no!
Have you seen Assassin's Creed Unity?
No, I didn't finish it. I got bored.
I actually liked that game, but it was very buggy.
But like, I mean, look at Odyssey, Origins. Like, there's a shit ton of bugs in both of those too.
But yeah, it'll be good. I think the delay's good, and hopefully they can actually make a solid game that stands out by itself.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, can we chat about the Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
It, AC? You want to talk about how we feel about Assassin's Creed?
Because to a degree, our friendship was somewhat built on that. Like, I saw you in the library once watching like.
It was Brotherhood multiplayer.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, what's that game? And you're like, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I was like, oh, all right, and bada bing, bada boom. Bada boom. I don't know. After, so, which one was it? Was it 3?
Black Flag?
No, 4. Black Flag.
No. 3 where they got rid of Desmond.
Yes, 3 was Desmond.
Yeah, it was 3, right? So 3, still keeping along with the story, still Desmond.
I mean, we should probably mention one of our controversial opinions, which a lot of people don't agree with, is Tolkien and I both actually like the Desmond sequences.
Yeah.
We actually liked Desmond's sequences, which is not a common thought pattern in the Assassin's Creed fan base.
I don't even know who he is.
Desmond's like the character. He's the linchpin. Literally, the whole reason you play as any of these characters is because of Desmond.
Okay. He's literally the main character.
Right.
And they killed him.
He's the only character that continues, and they killed him in the 3rd game.
So that was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then Black Flag came out. Black Flag was like effectively a DLC to 3, which was like it was a
prequel, yeah.
It was a prequel.
That was one with like the
Flag,
ships and shit, right?
Yeah, that was one of the best Assassin's Creed games.
Yes. Black Flag, phenomenal. But the thing is, after they killed off Desmond, it just
the story lost anything. Continuation,
consistency, whatever. And then Origin, it was like, okay, this is the origin of the assassins. Yeah, cool. But then it just didn't carry it from there.
Well, like the weird part with it is, so they went like they had Black Flag, which your character isn't even a named character. You're playing first person, like outside of the Animus, and it was really fucking bizarre and trash. And like the way they explained that you can play as these characters is they took Desmond's body and used his DNA to be able to access the information. But like the actual story from then doesn't truly continue. They tried to, but not really well. And then Unity came out, and again it was a similar thing. And then they went, okay, Origins came out, they created a new character that's like Desmond. They created an outside of world actual character that you follow.
Yeah, and the chick, right?
Yeah, Leah, I think her name is. But no, that they started to find the ball again. They got the ball rolling again, especially in Odyssey. They actually started picked up again. But the problem is, it shouldn't have lagged at all in the first place because they had this great thing going, in my opinion, with this continuation where, as Tolkien and I always say, is it went like you saw this slow progression in time, and eventually the final AC game was going to be you playing as Desmond and Desmond only in the modern world. That was where they were originally going, clearly. Like you can visibly see it happening. Like each game was a continuation in time until they got there. And you can tell once they killed off Desmond to kind of halt that continuation because they wanted to make more games.
Yeah.
And so then you see these weird. That it was like from then they stopped having this progression of time, and they started going. They went back in time for Black Flag. Then they'd go to the fucking French Revolution, and then they'd go to industrial England. And then they went
it's
to
just
fucking,
all over the place.
Yeah, and then then they ancient Egypt, then to fucking the Peloponnesian War in Greece, then now to Vikings, and it's this weird constant change in.
They're just showing different assassins at different timelines, essentially. There's no string of story.
Anymore. But it's not even assassins anymore. That's the problem.
No, they're just dudes. There's no creed.
No, it's not, and it's not assassins anymore. Like in the previous games, although the stealth was lacking, the stealth was very much it was still there, even though it wasn't an actual stealth mechanic. It was still there, and a lot of it was that spying, staying kind of hidden as much as possible, and not announcing yourself out in the open constantly.
Yeah, finding out the best way into a castle without being seen.
And it was like there was a lot of that, and then they still have that in these games, but it's not assassins.
It's not about the assassin. It's not about the assassination.
It's about the period now. It's about the period instead of the actual assassins. They're just picking a period and then going, how can we insert the creed into this?
And they're not even assassins at this point. They're just warriors.
No.
Who assassinate people.
Origins, it explained it. But then you go to Odyssey, which is based before Origins.
Yeah.
And he's not an assassin. He doesn't even have the fucking hidden blade. The common weapon that's used by them. And it's so bizarre, and then you got a fucking Viking.
Yeah.
Very assassiny.
I saw the I don't know, one of the new clips for Valhalla, and I sat there and I was like, I swear to God, I can't wait to see how they explain how this Viking, the Vikings who are not very technologically forward people managed to develop a mechanical blade that's hidden.
No. So the actual thing is, in Norway, the character stumbles upon the creed.
Yeah, but the creed is not existed.
No, but that's the thing. They introduce the creed while she's in Norway, and then she travels over and she's just doing shit.
Anyway, Andrew and I could rant about this for a whole fucking pod.
Yeah, and the problem is it is
so
this greed. Yeah, it's this greed that Ubisoft has. Every fucking video game company that they have, and it's just a real shame because
so disappointing.
This game to me was one of our favorite fucking games. We'd spend hours just sitting and chatting about it.
Dude, we literally played it together multiple times.
Yeah.
We completed multiple series titles multiple times.
We 100%ed 2 and Brotherhood together.
Yeah.
And we do die by die, and we put it on the hardest difficulty so that we die fucked up. And we 100%ed it. We fucking did everything. We did the feathers, everything, you name it. We did a lot with those games, and that was when those games were good, and they had a clear course that they were going.
They're not bad games now. They're well made. Well, it's just that their story, the story that they had is just
there's no continuity.
The best way to say it is it's not Assassin's Creed anymore. It's just taking the title so it has name recognition. That's the way. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I can believe
Assassin's Creed 4 was a great game, but it wasn't Assassin's Creed. It was a pirate game. It wasn't great because it was an Assassin's Creed game. It was great because no game had done a pirate game like it had. And the Creed part was still, again, it was still there at least with 4, but it was a lot more pulled back.
Yeah. How did we even get onto this Assassin's Creed topic? Just talking about it.
We were talking about Ubisoft. And then...
Anyway, second last piece of news though. Call of Duty Cold War.
Oh, what now?
So they announced their PC specs. So it gave us a bit of a view of certain things.
Yeah.
People were up in arms with one part that I don't really agree with. I think it's really stupid to be up in arms with, which is like to get the max settings, you need the new 3080 at least graphics card.
Really?
Yeah. People were a bit pissy with that because, obviously the 3080 isn't exactly... Well, because it's not... Like, the 3080's just come out. And
so I would be annoyed too.
Well, I mean, sure, but the thing is,
it's still...
Legion has the same thing, and it's not... The way they've done it is, it's max settings using graphics that only the 3080 can really utilize, So playing it in 4K... with ray tracing and high FPS, you need a 3080 or above. Whereas, you can also have a non-ray tracing max settings, etc., and that won't require a 3080, if that makes sense. Non-4K ray tracing, which that makes sense in my opinion. And I don't see that as a big problem, because you have max, it's what Legion does it really well, actually, to speak on Watch Dogs Legion. Their graphics settings are really well done, where they essentially went, okay, do you want max settings? Yes. Ray tracing with max settings? Can't do it. Don't turn off ray tracing. Turn off this option and this option and this option.
Yeah.
And you can use your max settings without the brilliant effects that the 3070 Plus could use or utilize, which makes sense. But the other thing, now, people mentioned it a little bit, but I saw this and went, they announced required disk space.
Yes.
How much do we think, guys?
130 gigs.
This is for PC. This is for PC.
It's like 220 or some shit, isn't it?
What are you saying, Mitch?
I said like 130 gig.
250 gigabytes required space.
200.
Recommended space. So that's not... Now, that's not... Now, I want to point this out. That doesn't mean it's taking up that much space. What it means is you should have 250 gigabytes free space so that when you install the game, you have that extra free space so your SSD or your hard drive can run smooth, right? But fuck me dead. 250 gigabytes.
I don't get this shit, bro. I don't get it.
It's not even that good a looking game.
I just want the zombies.
Okay, I'm sorry, but Red Dead Redemption 2 looks better than this game, right? It looks better than this game. It only takes 80 gigabytes, 90 gigabytes for Red Dead 2. An open world game that looks better than this.
Yeah.
This is a linear
RPG.
first-person shooter with graphics that might have been amazing when the PS4 just fucking came out. And they're going, it needs 250 gigabytes free space, my guy. Are you kidding me? Fuck me. Activision, teach your developers how to optimize their video games. That's all it requires. Optimization.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Mitchell's destroyed.
I mean, it's to point it out, Tolga, let's say if this 250 gigabytes is what you need on the PS5 too, the PS5's base free hard space is 600 and something gigabytes when it comes out. It has 640 gigs. So 250, that's just under half.
250 gig is is a quarter of a terabyte. That's fucked.
No, but the PS5 only gives 600 gigs, right?
Yeah.
But 250 is nearly half of the base PS5's hard space.
Hey, look, man, I ain't gonna get Cold War.
I probably won't either. But I'm
neither
just
will
saying
I now. That's way too much.
Let's say someone wanted to play, to point it out, you could have, if you downloaded Modern Warfare and Cold War, you could only maybe have one game to download on your PS5 as well.
That's a good thing I've got.
Jesus Christ.
No, but maybe you could, do what you did with Modern Warfare and only download, certain sections of the game.
But that you can choose to not download multiplayer and single player, but you can't choose to not download Warzone. Warzone's necessary. So if you're like me, who doesn't want to play the Battle Royale, but wants to play the multiplayer, I still have to have the Battle Royale still downloaded. Like, it's just stupid. It's just dumb.
I want to...
It's just a fucking joke.
I
it's
want
just a joke.
to restart the day after hearing that. That is garbage.
Press the reset.
It's just a
Where's
joke,
the
man.
restart button?
Soft reset.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to include it, but then I remembered, Mitchell, you and I have been joking about the size for a while and had to throw it in there.
Like, I knew it was coming, but it's still so disappointing.
It's still bigger. It's still bigger than I thought it
It's
would be.
way bigger. That's nearly
It's
double
still
what I
managed
guessed.
to be bigger than what I thought it would be. Like,
It's
Oh
still
my
stupid.
god.
yeah. And for final news in our common Xbox Game Pass shilling.
We got a
or
sponsor.
My Xbox Game Pass shilling. No, so Phil Spencer, head of Xbox,
Yep.
had an interview, and they were asking about Game Pass pricing, because obviously people are a little worried and concerned, going,
Is it
okay,
gonna go
like,
up?
you know, it's going to go up soon. Like, you know, you just had Netflix raise their prices and shit, so they're going, oh. And he came out and essentially went, no.
Oh, good.
For the time being, it will not raise.
For the time being.
Yes, well, of course, he can't guarantee anything, but essentially what he said was, at this current point, it is sustainable as is.
Yeah,
You know.
because of the licensing, it's bound to change. Like,
Yeah, of course. If they get more stuff in, of course they're gonna have to up it eventually.
No, but like for
like-
example, someone who they're paying because they're effectively paying
Yeah.
for licensing.
Yes, they are.
One of those companies could just be like, you're not paying us enough.
Yeah, of
and then-
course.
Yep. That's it.
But like, you know, he said for the time being, yes. But he did throw this, and this is my favorite part. He said essentially, it is like as is. It is completely sustainable, which was a big middle finger to Sony, because if you remember, a few weeks back I mentioned Sony had come out and spoken about if they were going to do a Game Pass style thing, and they had said it's just not sustainable in this modern climate. That was their quote. So I do appreciate the little Phil Spencer. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah,
I'm
but
a
Cunts.
Sony boy, but Xbox, good on ya. Good on you,
Yeah.
seriously.
I mean, how sustainable is it actually though?
I mean, doing
maybe they're just...
gangbusters.
Yeah.
I've mentioned before, they're not competing with the Series X.
No.
They're competing with the Game Pass. That's how Xbox is competing against Sony now.
Yeah.
It's not with their console. It's with what comes with that console now. And that is, their Game Pass is such a good seller. Like, it's such a good sell point. Like, pay $20 a fucking month and have instant access to a shit ton of games. And good games at that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fucking selling point, and it is sustainable. The only time I'd say it won't become sustainable is, like you said, if companies start getting greedy and going, I want more money, or if they start getting a grander scale and going, okay, so we've got the EA Play combination now, let's try and get Ubisoft Plus combination, and maybe that will increase it, etc., etc., etc. But like, that's the only time. But even so, like, for $20 a month, man, like, again.
And people can opt out. If the prices do change, you can always opt out, guys.
Yeah, that's the thing with this subscription model, is you can opt out. And yeah, I think that there are bonuses as well. Like, you can use this thing essentially as a way to turn these games into demos.
You reckon if you're a streamer, you can claim it on tax? The monthly repayments for the game.
You
Pass.
know what? It's probably not too far off.
You can claim like all your recording software on tax.
Yeah.
If you're getting paid for it, if this is your primary job, you can claim that as a business expense.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, you could probably claim the video game purchases as business expenses. I wonder. Let's streamers. Let us know.
Yeah, let us
We
know.
need
No,
answers.
not streamers. Successful streamers. Let us know. Let us know.
Okay, yeah, sorry. PewDiePie, tell us, come on.
Yeah,
We're buds.
yeah, we want to know. What's your tax?
No, Ninja, I don't want to hear from you. XQC, no. Doc, yeah, I'll listen to you. What you tell us what's up.
Yeah, that's it. Tio, let us know, man.
I don't know you, but yes.
He is the
He's
best.
mentioned Tio for like the past 3.
Yes, but I still don't. I still haven't watched
no one
it.
knows any.
No one
idea
knows
who
him,
he is.
Still haven't
but he's
watched
so
it.
good. He's so good. He's who I'm watching with Little Hope. He's nice. He's cool.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah, because I really want to get that game. Really excited to play that game.
Yeah,
Is that
Want
it?
to do that on stream.
I think that's all the news.
Yeah, I think so.
Hell yeah, good running.
Yeah, man.
We're just over an hour. Well done,
Oh,
boys.
hells yeah, man.
Yeah, bro.
Well, a little announcement.
bro.
Hopefully next week, Valhalla comes out, and hopefully, unlike Watch Dogs, I'll actually enjoy the game and stream it more.
Well,
Are you getting it on PS4?
No.
you know what else comes out in 6 days or 7 days? Destiny 2
PS5.
Beyond Light, baby.
Yes, same date, is it?
10th of November.
I think that's the same date as
Hell
HD.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
So I'm going to be
actually,
streaming that. I'm going to be busting out that.
I was tempted to buy it, but then I went.
No,
I
you
can't
never
get
play
it.
Destiny. You
Yeah,
never
that's
stay
why I'm
with
like,
it. You never stick with it. You're like,
I
oh
know.
yeah, this is cool, Oh, this takes effort and time. Nah, I don't have it.
I'll buy
Catch you
it.
later.
I've never touched Destiny.
Yeah, Tolga, you do that, dude. I'll
Set
hold
that
your
one
hand.
time.
I'll hold your hand
I
through it.
think my problem was I also just wasn't enjoying the. It's just the grind, man. The grind becomes a.
Drink
Yeah,
responsibly,
you gotta be a
kids.
true gamer, you know. So
Drink responsibly. Every time
what
alcohol
it
pops
is.
up on screen, we need to say drink responsibly.
drink responsibly, kids, or not at all if you're underage.
Yeah.
We
don't
did
be-
our
don't-
time.
Don't be like Andrew.
Well, I
Who
mean,
has a different alcoholic beverage in each episode.
Yeah, don't.
oh well. All right, Andrew. Let's do this outro. Let's go. Booyah!
That is a lot of rum.
You've been
Nerd
Nerd
spiced.
Nerd spiced.